Thank you for taking the time off to join this webinar. We will now begin. I am June, the Marketing Manager at Adventus, and for the benefit of those who are unfamiliar with us, I'll be doing a short introduction on Adventus. So before I begin, if you were to hover your mouse to the bottom of the screen, you will see a Q&A button below. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, just type your questions there and we will address them later at the end of the webinar. Okay, so these are our slides. Let me just share. Okay, full screen now. Okay, sure. So about Adventus, we are an ICT solutions and services company that provides a wide range of products and services. We have more than 1,000 contractual customers and cater to a lot of different requirements that our customers may have. We have close to 400 employees and we are serving our customers globally on a 24/7 basis. So we have offices around the world to provide our customers with on-site IT support, namely in these 14 countries and these 22 cities. These are our awards and certifications. Adventus is very big on service excellence. That is why we ensure that we are awarded the Singapore Quality Class Star for service excellence. We have been named the best IT services provider by Singapore Business Review for 7 years in a row, all the way from 2018 to 2024. And to ensure that what we are doing is of world-class standards, we have all these different ISO certifications. Lastly, at Adventus, we believe that happy employees make happy customers. That's why we invest a lot in our employees to make sure that they are working happily in our company and hence serving our customers better. So that's why we have all these different HR awards. These are the technology partners that we are working with. Basically, we have a very close working relationship with most of the big players in the market. And in today's session, we have partnered with Epson to give you an insight on the future of sustainability with Epson's heat-free technology. These are some of our clients. We serve a multitude of customers from SMEs to big enterprise customers. So just to name some, we have Toyota, where we provide end user support, supporting 800 computer users in Toyota. Okay. We manage the firewall for LBBW in Singapore, China, and Korea. For Shiseido, we manage the network and server for Shiseido. This covers around 100 servers and enterprise network for 400 users. For KPMG, we do end user devices patch management for around 3,500 computers at KPMG. At Adventus today, we have 8 very strong business pillars, and I'll go a little more in depth into each of them. So here's a breakdown of the services included in end user support services. We provide remote support, on-site support, and also staff augmentation where we place a headcount into our customer's environment. For cloud and on-premises infrastructure services, we provide services such as infra monitoring, infra maintenance and support, infra upgrade and migration, managed network services, managed backup and disaster recovery, and new office setup or relocation. When it comes to cybersecurity, we are CSRO licensed to be a service provider for Managed Security Operations Center, SOC in short. So some services that we provide here will be endpoint protection for end user devices and servers, patch management, MFA multi-factor authentication, firewall, vulnerability management, and managed network access control. For IP and cloud telephony services, we have our own SBO service provider license. We provide services for on-premises IP phone systems as well as cloud telephony systems such as Microsoft Teams Direct Routing. Under Telco Solutions and Services, today we are partnering with Singtel in this area. For managed print services, we manage photocopiers and printers. Epson is one of the many brands that we support. And in addition, we have several cloud-based print solutions as well. When we talk about physical security, such as a CCTV and door access, you need a security service provider license from the Singapore Police Force, and this is the one that Adventus has. So we can provide solutions, consultancy services, maintenance and support for CCTV and door access systems. In terms of application software services, we currently provide services for ServiceNow and Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM. So overall at Adventus, we have over 300 engineers in an extensive suite of ICT domains and disciplines to cater to different needs that our customers and clients may have. So each of these divisions comprises of engineers that specialize in their particular field. So in today's market, Adventus is strategically and uniquely positioned in the market because we are the only IT vendor that can do all these solutions in-house, from print to CCTV to IP telephony to cloud. We can be your single point of contact in all these areas that we have. Okay, now I hand over to Sean, the Client Management and Sustainability Officer from Epson, who will go more in depth into how to achieve both your sustainability goals and how to save costs. So once again, if you have any questions throughout the webinar, just type your questions in the Q&A portion below, and we will address them later at the end of the webinar. Sean, over to you.
Hi, thank you very much, Joan, for the introduction. Maybe for me, let me put up my slides. Okay. Okay. Thank you once again. So my name is Sean. So I think the first thing first, I just like to say I'm so delighted to be able to share this with the crowd today, with the massive turnout we have today, and also I'm really happy to be able to work on this sustainability printing together with a powerhouse like Adventus. So without further ado, I think I would like to cover on the topic of heat-free printing, the future of printing and sustainability. A little bit, slight intro to myself. There's a QR code there. You would like to put me on LinkedIn to join me on LinkedIn, you can feel free to scan and add me. I'm in Epson, Singapore. I'm handling client management and also the sustainability from the sustainability office. So as a part of the sustainability office, so not only do we handle sales, we also go around promoting to various partners and vendors on the sustainability effort that we have put in, and also encourage our fellow vendors or partners of us to also embark on the same journey. I would like to share a little bit more as I go along, and you understand what I'm talking about. For myself, I have been in the industry, the print solution services for 20 over years. So I can say that I have seen the transition from the analog printers to the digital, and now, of course, the latest buzzword is sustainability. So now, if we're talking, we're talking about sustainability printing. So exactly what is sustainable printing? I think primarily sustainable printing refers to how we can actually use the technology and also some best practices, and then we to try to minimize the environmental impact, and also another thing is also the ecological footprint. I think at the end of the day, printers are something, if we do not know yet, that is actually emitting a certain level of CO2. And I think this is where I think sustainability printing has becoming more and more relevant. I think a lot of companies, and especially in countries where they are more environmentally conscious, they are also looking into ways to how can they actually print more sustainably. I think at the end of the day, the goal is to, while we are still able to print, we also want to try our best to protect the environment and also promote the social responsibility. There are certain benefits that is associated to sustainable printing. So I think one of the common few is that, of course, the key thing here is that we reduce the environmental impact. Of course, there is always the standard thing of recycled paper and environmentally friendly consumables. I think the other thing is also to lower the carbon footprint, because I think with printers, they take up a certain level of power consumption. I think so. Therefore, if you have something that's more efficient, I think it will definitely be more have a lower carbon footprint. Of course, a lot of people like to associate the green sustainability effort with higher cost. Not wrong totally. A lot of time, being green does not necessarily mean cheaper, but there can also be cost savings. So cost savings in a sense, like for example, if you choose a product that is of a lower running cost, then that's where you have savings on the electrical bills. I think especially in countries like Singapore, where we are ever facing an increase in the electrical bill, I think that's one plus point for businesses if you can actually bring down your electrical costs. And of course, the brand image. I think today more and more companies are also advocating this. I think sometimes you may have, when you're talking to certain potential business opportunities and maybe partaking in certain tender, it has become more and more common that they actually include a certain level of sustainability effort from the vendor as part of the tender evaluation. And last but not least, of course, the regulatory compliance. I think the most common one would be the ESG reporting. While ESG reporting is largely voluntary now, except for the exception of SGX listed company where they are mandatory. I think eventually all companies will have to do the reporting in the next couple of years. So I think this is one area and benefits that you can actually have when you actually embark on sustainable printing practices. So on that topic, the thing here is that as Epson, for what can we do to help clients in this area? So I think before that, I'll just like to share a little bit about the Epson history. So Epson for us, of course, is not a, I believe a lot of people have known this company. So for Epson, our head office is actually Seiko, and this is something that actually a lot of people do not know. So our head office in Japan is actually Seiko Epson, but in the rest of the globally for short naming, we'll just name it as Epson. So we start, of course, for Seiko, everybody know us for the inventor of the first quartz watch. And I think in terms of accuracy for timing, the quartz watch from Seiko is well known for that. And of course, some of the technology in the propulsion and all that is transferred into the printing technology. And therefore, we actually came out with the first miniature digital printer, the EP101. So in fact, just a little fun fact, that's how the Epson name came about, because the very first printer, EP101, they had the vision that any products beyond that will be the sons of this product, SON, sons and daughters. So, and that's how the EPSON Epson name came about. So that's just a little fun fact for you before we do it. Now, coming to back to something more serious. So for Epson, we are a global company. We are about 80,000 employees strong worldwide. Our last reported turnover is about 8.2 billion USD. With for us, also in Asia, we're in 10 countries. We have direct presence in 6. There is 6 solution centers whereby we can allow our clients to come in to take a look at our technology and solutions. So one of it is in Singapore. So if you'd like to take a visit, feel free to contact Adventus or myself. We'll arrange something for you. And we also have 7 manufacturing facilities around Asia. So for us, like I mentioned, the buzzword about sustainability is big at Epson. So when we talk about sustainability, what do we exactly mean? So for us, products sustainability is from the stage of conceptualization to the completion of the product design. So naturally, there is a certain pledging of R&D into all that. Of course, the ideal beyond the product, we also have certain goals, and that we also invest into the environment. And one of the key things is we also pledge to do 100% renewable energy for the entire Epson Group by 2023, which I'm pleased to share that as of last year, December 2023, we have already announced that globally all our factory plant is running on 100% renewable energy, meaning to say all products manufactured from Epson will come from net zero carbon environment. So what does that translate to you as an end user? I'll share a little bit more as we go along. Now, what is the vision? The key vision is by 2030, we want to not have the temperature increase by 1.5 degrees scenario. I think by 2050, to become carbon negative, which I shared earlier on, we have achieved in our factories already. Carbon negative meaning to say that we do not use any energy that is from under the ground. We do not use diesel, petrol, or fossil fuel. We will basically be using solar, hydro, and all that. So this is not new to most people, because I believe a lot will have known that this 2 vision is also in line with the Singapore Green Plan, which is also originated from the United Nations Paris Agreement. But 2 big objectives, how do we achieve it? Basically through 4 main initiatives. One is through the decarbonization, which I shared earlier on through our operations. So achieving this decarbonization will actually reduce the carbon footprint a lot. Closed loop resources. So like, for example, our projectors, we are also big on our projectors other than printers. Our projectors are all, and printers, retail printers are all packed using recycled materials. So that's another effort that we make. And also, of course, there are certain things like there's more on a higher level. Like, for example, just to share, we used to be able to ship, say, for example, a printer, maybe one container, 200 printers. But we try to re-engineer the design of the boxes, the packing, and the way we package it, so we can squeeze in the same printer, but maybe 250 in that same one container to ship more in one. So that will reduce also the carbon footprint. So that's for closed loop resource. The other thing, the third one, is the customer environmental impact mitigation, which is basically, put it simply, mean how can we, through the use of our Epson products, when the customer use it in their environment, they can also achieve certain form of sustainability. And I think today we will be here to focus specifically on the printer portion, which I'll share a little more later. And lastly, technology, which is how do we use the technology to achieve this for point number 3. All right. Now, I'd like to share a little bit about our commitment to the Sustainability Development Goal. So Sustainability Development Goal is something that has set by United Nations that encourages global businesses to embark on and commit to. So I'm pleased to share that Epson has subscribed and Japan has subscribed to all 17 of the United Nations goals, meaning to say that all our business decision and processes, everything will revolve around these 17 goals. Now, for these big commitments, it's not therefore in Asia we will start off with 5 and we are increasing as we go along. So like I mentioned earlier on, as for myself, beyond client management, I also do from the sustainability office, whereby I go around sharing on the sustainability efforts with our vendors and also our partners. So that's also one of the commitment that we do. Now, I think I'd like to share a little video with you, just a short 3-minute video in the next video, whereby it's a video that we had actually partnered with NetGeo. We can take a look.
The Arctic is as fast as the rest of the Earth. I'm on a race to determine what this really means for all of us. My research takes me to the coldest corners of the planet, studying the release of natural greenhouse gases that speed up global warming. As the ice melts due to rising temperatures, the sea levels rise, the coastal communities get flooded, and there are more frequent and intense weather events. Global warming affects the types of plants that grow and which animals survive. I've been captivated by Arctic lakes since I was young. I love their solitude and the mystery of what lies beneath the water's surface. I've studied more than 300 lakes across the Arctic. These lakes are leaking powerful greenhouse gases that speed up climate warming. Earth's permafrost, the frozen ground beneath most of the Arctic, is turning out to not be so permanent after all. Heat destroys permafrost. Conserving heat is one of the best ways to minimize our impact on the environment. Choosing heat-free technology to lower energy consumption will reduce greenhouse gas emissions and help us slow permafrost thaw in the Arctic. We estimate that up to 10% of the projected global warming this century could come from thawing permafrost. People can have control over how much heat winds up in the atmosphere. We can all play a big part to conserve the magic of this planet for future generations.
Yes, so this is a video that Epson has partnered with NetGeo to produce. Now, basically what this video is saying is that, to put it very simple, is that everything that we use every day, our car, our computers, our printers, refrigerator, aircon, you name it, emits certain form of heat. And what happens is when this heat get into the environment, that's where the temperature rise globally. When the temperature rise, the ice and all that will melt, and that's where the sea level water rises. Now, and that's where all the massive flooding happens and all the global warming happens. So all this flooding is real. I mean, other than the fact that like China and all that is flooding, let's not go so far. We talk about Singapore. A few years back, I don't know if you guys recall, the government was talking about marine parade, whereby the water is coming up nearer and nearer to shore, and they actually have built barriers within in the marine parade to stop the sea level from going up to shore. So global warming is real. And I think recently a lot in the news is about all these air turbulence and all that. Those are signs. If you actually go and read up about it, it's all about global warming. It's because of the increase in temperature and everything, and therefore all this mess up in the environment. Now, how does this relate to sustainable printing? At the end of the day, for us, if you remember, we are Epson as a technology company, we are committed to the environment and also through our commitment of the Sustainability Development Goal. So for us as a printer business, we also used to sell laser printer. So laser printer for office, I think one thing I have to agree is that it's a mature technology that all brands carry, including Epson, we used to. But what happened is that because we pledge our commitment to the environment, and therefore as a corporate entity, we realized that the technology is actually very harmful for the environment. And therefore, we actually make the decision and announce that we have already, by last year, 2023, ceased all laser printer products in Asia. except for the obligation of certain government contracts, which once that ends, we will also not supply anymore. As of now, we are also not partaking in any more laser tenders because this is very bad for environment. And as of 2026, which we have already announced, we will cease laser technology globally. So that is all part of our commitment for the environment, and because we realize how harmful it is for the environment. Of course, when we cease the technology, what do? We need to have something else in place to replace it, isn't it? So that's where we came up with our own new heat-free technology. Basically, we still have the same printer products, but they're all running heat-free. And I'll share with you a little bit more on this technology. But before that, let me share with you some statistics and data. We actually have commissioned a third-party independent survey company to find out in a typical office environment like yours and mine and maybe your Adventus, what consumes the most power. I think a lot of time from finance portion, we receive the finance, this power bill. We will say, oh dear, the finance, the electrical bill is so high this month. What have you all been doing? Or you all must be turning on the aircon a lot and all that. Not wrong. But do we have actually a breakdown of exactly where all this cost is coming? Because the bill that comes from your Singapore Power is one lump sum. But it is possible to actually find out, and there are actually services out there that actually can do that for you. So for example, we found out through the survey that 45%, typically 45% comes from the aircon, no surprises. And that's why these days you have, you're talking to any aircon suppliers, nothing below 5 stick is sellable. Everybody is going for 5 stick and above. Lighting, 29%, because you remember there's one period whereby everybody was rushing to change from light bulb to LED because they realized just simply how much power consumption it is light bulb. Yes, so same for PC. I think this portion here, Adventus will know as an IT powerhouse. I think PCs, we don't just simply means the laptop and all that, but you think about, like, for example, your server rack, your UPS. So all this consumes a lot of high power. Now, the other thing that a lot of people do not know, and through this fact finding, was that printers like your office printers, your laser printers, your multifunctional printers, or what we call it as the photocopiers, can consume up to 10%, which is very substantial because anything other than this in the office only makes up 3%. So 10% is a very big amount when these are the areas that where our heat-free technology Epson can come in and actually help to address for most of the corporate offices. Now, of course, having said that, this heat-free technology there is a lower power consumption. We need to test it out. So back then, when we launched this technology about 10 years ago, we actually tested in our own Epson, Seiko Epson office in Japan. Our Seiko office in Japan has close to about 900, close to about 1,000 printers altogether. So we changed all of it to heat-free, and immediately we record an 82% reduction in power consumption. I will share, as I go further, I'll share with you more in the data. But right now, let's just hold for that. There is an 82% reduction in power consumption, very massive. But beyond that, what was interesting was we also recorded a 72% in reduction of consumable disposal, or also can be considered as e-waste as we know it. Why is that so? The reason is because in the heat-free technology from Epson, the typical printer that we use and compared to the one that is Epson, there is a lot lesser parts. The parts can be as low, lesser by 60%, about 59%. So like, take for example, if you're a regular user of a laser printer in your office, you will know one of the most common things you need to change is your fuser, your drum, which your service provider will take care. But think about it, all these fuser and drums, they don't come just as one part. When you need to change, your service provider come and change, they come in a box. There's a box that needs to be disposed. There's a plastic wrapper. There's some sticker here, sticker there, some caps, plastic caps. All these contribute to the disposal waste. In a Epson heat-free inkjet printer, there is no drum and there is no fuser. So that's just one example of how much of this e-waste is being saved. So this is some numbers and facts for you. So moving forward, I actually would like to share with you a few more slides about some of the Epson products. How do we actually incorporate this sustainability factor into our products? Remember, I mentioned earlier on, for Epson, sustainability is not just a buzzword, but we are big on it in the sense that from product conceptualization stage, we will start to incorporate how do we factor in the sustainability portion. So there are many products, but in the essence of time, I just want to share about three or four products here. Now, you guys remember the days where, okay, so for example, Epson is big on our home printers. So for example, those days we go to IT show, we'll buy a printer for $99 and it can do copy factories. Yeah, very happy, right? Then we go back, we use the printer for 3 months. When we realize that ink run out, we go to the superstore, we buy a set of inks, CMYK, and we realize it costs $120. Remember, your printer costs $99. So what's the most common thing? I would dare say that majority of them, me myself guilty included, we'll throw away the printer, we'll just buy another $99 one because it makes more sense to buy a new printer because it's cheaper than buying a set of ink. So that was actually what's happening to all the brands. And we realized that that was actually very, very harmful. And of course, and that's where we launched this thing called the EcoTank, whereby if today you're using an Epson printer at home, the EcoTank printer, you run out of ink, you basically go to like the superstore, you can buy one big bottle for only about $9.90. So did that erode the margin and profitability? Definitely on a business level, but all in the name of environmental friendliness and sustainability, because we realized what we were doing is encouraging users to be unenvironmentally friendly. And therefore, we actually changed into this model of the eco tank. And therefore, now instead of just having to buy those small little cartridges and throw away so many cartridges, or even worse, throw away the whole printer, now our Epson users, they just have to buy the big bottle and they go back and they can continue to use the printer. So this is one in the home area. Coming a little bit closer to the office printer, the products that we are more closer at heart. So for office printer, like I was sharing earlier on, because of its heat-free technology, we use up to 85% lesser power consumption. So with 85% lesser power consumption, naturally, of course, the bills will be lower, but it also means 85% less carbon emission. Now, will be something will be more interesting for people of concern if you're doing ESG reporting. So because in your ESG reporting, when scope 3 is finally mandatory to report, at the moment it's not, you need to report your vendors this carbon emission through those products and all that. So all this will be data that will be able to contribute to a better ESG reporting. So of course, and then the fuel replacement part, like I mentioned, up to 59% lesser parts than the conventional laser printer. I'll share a little bit more in details about this in terms of the actual power consumption as I go along. Now, one or two more products I'd like to share. So for Epson, we have this product called the Paper Lab, whereby basically is we don't call it recycling, but an upcycling machine. You know, in the conventional recycling method, we actually use a lot of water. So that is actually very unenvironmentally friendly to recycle. It's a bit of an irony because it's good to recycle, but the process in itself is not so environmentally friendly. So we have developed this product called a Paper Lab, which is actually in our office. You can actually like to come and take a look. You can contact Adventus. We can arrange for a tour and a demo. What we do is at the end of the day, our facilities will pick up all the papers that we put into the recycling bin. They'll put it into the machine and they'll let it run overnight. Basically, the next day it produces a new stack of paper. And it does not use water at all, zero water. So what it does is it basically defiberizes the paper. So this is something very interesting. Our vision is a little big. I shan't talk too much on it, but our vision is that we hope that one day we can make this machine small enough to be placed with every single printer out there, regardless of brand, so that at the end of the day, every office, before they leave the office for a day, they can put all their used paper into this machine, the Paper Lab, and the next morning they have a fresh ream of paper to put it back into their photocopier. So that will actually create what we call a true closed loop resource. So I think this is something very interesting. If you'd like to find out more, please contact Adventus and we see what we can arrange to do a tour for you. All right. The other thing is also we also have products that print to textile, directly to fabric. Now, one thing that a lot of people do not know is that actually the fashion industry has one of the highest level of wastages. So you think about it, like those fashion designers, right? When they want to design something, they need to dye the cloth. So dyeing the cloth again, it takes out a lot of water. And then when they dye, they need to dye a minimum length, like maybe say for example, 10, 15 meters. But to do the runway show, you only need to do, you need to use like 2-3 meters, and after that of cloth, and after the rest is throwaway. And therefore, that's where we have this direct to fabric printers. Very popular among a lot of the brands. Maybe we're online, so not so convenient to share, but majority, there are quite a number of luxury brands that are using this on the design stage. So if you like to know more, yeah, we can talk offline about this. Okay, so these are some of the products that I shared earlier. What I was sharing earlier on, I just want to give you all an idea when we talk about sustainability printing, right? How we incorporate all these sustainable ideas and concepts into the product. Now, coming back to our topic today for printers, what does how do we actually achieve this heat-free printing that is more sustainable? I have this video here, a short one, about maybe 20, 30 seconds. I'll just let you take a look before I carry on. Oh, sorry, hang on.
Epson's piezo printheads are driven by piezoelectric elements which contract when voltage is applied. Each piezoelectric element is paired with a vibration plate to form a set. The contracting piezoelectric element moves the vibration plate to generate an inkjet mechanically, with no need to heat the ink. Each printhead contains densely arranged rows of these sets, with each one firing precisely the right amount of ink at precisely the right place, more than 40,000 times a second. As no heat is generated, this mechatronic technology can be used with a broad range of ink and media.
Yes, so this short video I shared is basically I want to introduce you to the piezo technology, which is the proprietary and patented technology of Epson printhead that allow us to achieve this heat-free printing. So what happened is that, so like for example, oh, where did my slide go?
I can still see your slides.
Yeah, sorry, but suddenly my screen changed. Okay, sorry. My screen changed to another one. Okay, no worries. Okay, so what happened is that, okay, this slide basically is sharing is that in the conventional laser printer, I do not know if you guys notice, when the office environment is very quiet, you send a print job to your laser printer. If it's very quiet, you hear this sound before the machine starts printing. I'm sure you hear it. You try it if it's office quiet. Basically, what is happening is that your laser printer is heating up. Now, the characteristics of a laser printer is that it must be very hot to print. And when you need to be very hot. Naturally, you require a lot of power consumption. So you see in a typical laser printer, when you send a print job, it's a eight steps process. You need to preheat the fuser, charge the drum, fuser, developer, toner transfer, and fusing. All this basically means it requires a lot of heat before the printout can be generated. But in an Epson heat-free inkjet, right, there is no such thing as warming up, and that is why we don't have this common known thing as warm up time. So the minute you turn on the printer, you can use immediately. If you remember earlier on the video, the piezo printhead, it fires up to 40,000 droplets per second, which is very fast. So with this, once you send, the ink starts printing and it prints out. It's simple as that. Now, of course, this portion here I'm showing is that there may be some people on with us that may share that, hey, but I think there are some other brands with a certain ink and all that. Not wrong. But what happened is that those are still at the end of the day using thermal method. Thermal method, there is still certain element of heat, and therefore that is why they do not bucket it as heat free. Compared to piezo, if you remember, it's using it pumps out the ink, it's totally heat free. If there's a chance, I'd like to invite you all to come and take a look. Arrange it with Adventus to our showroom. You will see that no matter how much you print, 300, 400, 500 copies, the printer is still cool to the touch. There is zero heat being generated. Now, coming back to the sustainability portion, I think one of the most common thing we always people like to talk about is using trees to offset the carbon credit. So of course, so this chart basically what it's saying is that in a typical year of usage for laser printer in a typical office environment, there is some data that is if you really like to have this data, we can actually share with you. But in the typical year of usage for laser printer, the amount of carbon emitted, you will require up to 6 cedar tree to absorb back the carbon. Now, for Epson heat-free printer, because it's heat-free and it emits so little carbon, the same usage in 1 year only require 1 tree to absorb back the amount of CO2. So that's how low it is. So if I'm not wrong, I had some references I checked. So even the lowest lasers brand, I actually named the brand here, but it's also about 5 trees. So for us, it's a very big difference. Only 1 tree is required. Now, I'd like to touch a little bit about this. Okay, because by this time now, you all have realized that the heat-free technology is achieved through the use of inkjet. There may be some question to ask about inkjet. Is it reliable? Is it will it smudge and all that? Now, I think a lot of time, just like take a moment to share this. Ink is something very general. Okay, unlike, for example, we talk about laser, toner is toner, that's it, full stop. But ink is there's a very wide range of ink. So offhand, very simply, I can list UV ink, resin ink, latex ink, dye ink, pigment ink. There are many types of ink. So those days the old days whereby those ink were smudged on, right, it's called dye ink. So I think one brand was very popular for that, I shall mention. But what we're using is pigment ink. Pigment ink is water resistant. When you print out, we immediately put it in the water and we can show it to you. It does not smudge. You use a highlighter, it does not smudge also. So if you think about it, right, actually majority of the things in life that we print around us is actually ink, with the exception of office printers. Because back then, office printer was required to be fast and laser technology was then only able to achieve that. But now with advanced technology in inkjet, we can also achieve the same or even faster speed than laser. Like, I mean, think about it, other than office environment, what else is laser? There's nothing, because your magazine is printed using ink, your newspaper is ink, your banner signages, everything that we see in the bus stop, the shopping mall, they are all ink. So ink has come to a different technology now, whereby it's unlike the past, whereby it can slow and all that. So now it's fast, it can also be used for the office environment. Now, in case for some of you who wonder, you have requirements to store your office document in storage, 5 years, 7 years, no worries. The printout from the Epson heat-free inkjet printers are sent for lab tests, and we have simulated for the environment to be able to store in dark storage for up to 400 years. So we only need, Singapore, we only need about 5, 6, 7 years. So no worries at all. All right, basically this slide is, I just want to share with you is that generally because of the heat-free technology, the printers of Epson are able to take a wider range of media. Because I shan't go into the individual, but I think at the end of the day, laser, we know is that because there's heat, when you try to put in certain form of material in, because of the heat, it's not able to take. So like one example, envelope, you can never print an envelope in a laser printer because of the heat. Either your plastic will melt, will seize, or the glue or the double-sided tape will melt. But with an inkjet heat-free printer, no problem. So generally, heat-free inkjet can take a wider range of media. All right. Now, coming back to sustainability. So I think this slide, what we're trying to show is that, okay, our cartridges comes in either for the printers, either in ink packs like this. We also do have the standard conventional cartridges. Now, what this slide is trying to say is that if you print on an Epson heat-free printer until the ink depletes on this ink pack, to print the same amount on a laser printer, you would have easily generated this amount of e-waste. Sounds exaggerating? No. Because you think about it, remember I mentioned earlier on, we have up to 60% or 59% to be exact, lesser parts compared to a laser printer. So imagine if you print on laser printer, you need to change all those drum, fuser, and that's where all these waste are accumulated. And I think the other thing is also like, for example, for laser, standard office yield for, let's say, mono, I have seen is about 20, 25,000, 30,000 page maximum. But this one over here, we're looking at, you're talking about 80,000. Not that it matters to you, because if you're on a paper page, then, but what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, because you change less cartridge, you also contribute less e-waste and less downtime also for the end user. All right. Now, I have shared I have just 1 or 2 more slides to share with you. So we talk about lower power consumption. Exactly how low are we talking about? So we do have some information here that these are not plugged from Sky numbers. I have references. I took all these numbers from the website. And this was actually done up because at the request of one of our vendors, that when I was sharing with them on the sustainability and all that, they say, hey, Sean, you talk about a lower cost, give me some actual numbers. I say, hey, that's a very good idea. We should put some actual numbers down. So we talk about, for example, Epson heat-free printer. So for us, we are running, the printer can be as low as 40 watts. Now, before I carry on, just to give you an idea what is 40 watts. 40 watts, if you remember those days in, okay, some of those older ones, the younger ones, I'm not sure. We learned in school about dynamo, right? That we power the bicycle. Yeah, so you pedal the bicycle, the light start to go up. Yes, that is 40 watt. And yes, our printer can be powered by putting a bicycle next to it without powering into the 3-pin plug. That's how low 40 watt is. Now, but that's besides the point. What we're trying to share here is, okay, let's say we do for simulation purposes. At 40 watts, the Epson printer, you run it for simulation purposes again, 8 hours a day. at 31 cents per watt. This is extracted from Singapore Power. They change every quarter. I think last quarter was 31 cents, including GST. I think this quarter is about 30 cents, but it fluctuates between 1 to 2 cents down there. Basically, what happens is that if you run it for 30 days, your electrical cost is $182 for 5 years running this Epson 40-watt printer. Now, I don't want to go into brands, but there are some brands like, like for example, this one is all extracted from their website. It prints at 1,500 watt, 1,760 watt. So basically the same simulation, 8 hours, 31 cents, 30 days. For 1,500 watt, basically your printing cost for 5 years, electrical bills will be 6,008. And the one at 1,700 will be 8,000. Now, I know some of you at this point might be challenging and say that, hey, look, Sean, we don't print 8 hours. Yes, granted. I can cut it by half. How about say we cut it to 4 hours? So this will be $90 and this will be $4,000. Not good enough, we cut it further half. 2 hours, I think that will be pretty realistic, right? So 2 hours, $45 for 5 years compared to 2,000. Point being is that it's still that big a difference. So I think at the end of the day, if you're able to use a heat-free printer, it will really drastically reduce your operating cost in terms of the electrical bill. I think that is the immediate savings. Of course, beyond that, on the ESG level, for companies that is doing ESG reporting, maybe you will be more interested to know is that what about the carbon emission? So if I will use the grid emission factor from Energy Market, the latest one is 2002, the calculation based on this wattage, based on Singapore Energy Market calculation, for this at 1,005, same 8-hour simulation, in the 5 years, your CO2 emission will be 9,003 kg. And for this one will be 10,500. Now, 9,000, 10,000. At 40 watt, what are we looking at? 240 kg. So that's how big a difference it is in your ESG reporting. So all these are calculated based on the latest Energy Market grid factor 2022. If you require, we can share the data, but you can find all this online. So I think what we are trying to share here is that at the end of the day, be it you're looking on a higher level of a company for ESG reporting purposes, it's definitely a lot more environmentally friendly and CO2 friendly to run a heat-free printer. But if that is not on your mind at this moment, you're not looking to sustainability ESG reporting, the other thing is also your finance sustainability, because the electrical bill is going to be so much difference. So effectively, you can buy another one more machine. So you can buy 2 machines from Adventus. Yeah, you can do that. All right. So now, with that, I will just like to wrap it up my session here. My key takeaway, if I may, I hope I have shared is that the Epson brand and products, we are highly eco-sustainable, and we are in line with the SDG goal. But how do we do that? Basically, it's through the use of our piezo technology, which is patented and proprietary to us, that allow us to operate our products at extremely low power usage. And when not only low power usage, simple design to reduce e-waste, and how does that translate to the end user? I think at the end of the day, if you have less parts, it simply means less downtime. So you have less downtime is basically less headache for the end users. And the result will be very simple. Basically, for the companies who are doing ESG, you will have a much lower CO2 emission to report under your scope 3. And of course, for companies who are not doing ESG at this point in time, you will have an immediate savings on the running cost in terms of the power consumption. So that's all I have. Thank you very much. So with that, I hope you guys have managed to get a better idea today of when we talk about sustainable printing, this buzzword sustainable, what does it mean? So I hope you're better. If you'd like to find out more, please feel free to contact the team at Adventus. I'll be glad to host you at my Epson office. We can do a solution tour for you, and we can have a more in-depth discussion on this. And right now, I'll just like to pass the time to Gordon, who is the business unit head for the Adventus Managed Print Services. So over to you, Gordon.
Hey, thanks, Sean. Thanks so much for your insightful presentation and how we can save planet Earth together with Epson, right? So good morning to all. In lieu of time, I think I will be running through quite quickly, so that we can end, punctually. So just a quick introduction. I'm Gordon. I run the Managed Print Services business unit in Adventus. So it's my pleasure to kind of run through with all of you today what we do. So very quickly, no stranger to all, for Adventus, we are actually one of the largest independent managed print services provider in Asia. We are able to put multi-brands, into one single contract for customers. And instead of a customer having to pay a hefty fee, everything will be on a subscription-based mode. What we cover, right, under our MPS, well, in short, right, of our managed print services, is we include copiers, desktop printers and all-in-ones, large format plotters, for those construction and engineering firms, fax and scanners, if you still have, but majority of this should be embedded in the multifunction devices now, file and print servers, software and solutions, everything into one single contract for our customers. And for the services that we offer, right, basically we will do remote monitoring. We have a team of customer service, right, that does nothing. I just look at the alerts coming in every day from our customers. So once an alert, is triggered, our logistic team will go down to our customer sites to actually deliver the toners. But over here, Adventus provide a valet service, right, that is differentiated from all the other vendors out there, where our guys will actually load in the new toners and take out the old one at the same time, so that your users need not get their hands dirty. And of course, importantly, we will also provide the break fix. We'll have a sticker on the device with our contact details in terms of email and support helpline that your users can call us, and within a stipulated SLA, our engineers will be on site to do the break fix for you. And of course, everything is under a paper print, like a utility-based model. So you pay based on how much you print. And of course, for Adventus, we are proud to partner, more than 70% of the brands in the market. And, for today context, we are very happy to have Epson, in this webinar to help our customers in the sustainability journey that they have. So other than just hardware itself, right, is also very important to know that, there's a lot of solutions that revolve around our managed print services that we can help our customers to improve their productivity, efficiency, and of course, in terms of sustainability as well. So you can see that, in terms of the different solutions on the authentication and job accounting solutions, right? This is the part that is very widely adopted in a lot of organizations to help them to reduce wastages, like what Sean has shared, right? In terms of the saving the trees, with these solutions, you're able to cut down on your, printing, because subconsciously, as the users know they are tracked, they print lesser. And then with all these solutions, other than enhancing the security of it, you are able to, have accountability as well as follow me printing, where instead of, having to send to a specific printers, you can send, to the print server, and you can just release the print in any of the other printers, which in short, you're able to cut down the number of devices and hence saving electricity as well. So, and of course, other than the on-prem solution, a lot of customers are also moving up from the traditional print servers to cloud, and that's where you can further save on electricity on running a server in-house. So we do have a whole suite of cloud solutions to offer to our customers as well. And of course, a lot of companies are now looking at automation, especially after, COVID itself, right? In improving the work processes, so we do have a lot of solutions that cater for that as well. And as government advocate a lot of e-invoicing, in electronic documents archiving, that's where we have a suite of solutions. And importantly, we do a lot of Microsoft SharePoint, which comes free with for the customers, right, under the Microsoft plans. So do come to us if you have any of these queries. And of course, with the latest device, there will be all the apps that you can use to empower your users on the mobile printing. And of course, we do offer print room, solution as well for customers that still have a print room, such as international schools, or those big firms that have a print room in-house. And of course, we do offer customer communication management solution where we can do one-to-one, marketing messages on your invoices. So that's an area that we can help our customers do. So importantly, I think, the key takeaway is why come to Adventus? A lot of, you may be wondering, you can go direct to the brand manufacturers, right? But I just want to take a few moments to highlight the key differentiation. So just to share with you, we have excellent in-house service and supply capabilities. But in addition to that, as what June, my marketing manager, had shared earlier, we are not just a print company. We are a full-fledged system integrator that has excellent solutioning and integration capabilities to put everything together, for our customers. And, we are proud to share that we are the top partners for HP every year, consecutively for many years. And likewise for Canon as well, and also for Konica Minolta, we are also the top partners every year and even achieving the platinum status. And of course, for Epson, we are very proud that we have managed to, won the Vital, government tender. So Vital basically is, encompass all the government agencies and, basically, with the government endorsement on sustainability, right? You can see that Epson is definitely a key, winner in this space. And of course, our key differentiation lies on these 5 pillars, which I will quickly, briefly go through. So we offer very high service level to our customers. So in fact, we are the only vendor in the market, that offer 24/7 help desk. And so that your customers, so that your users can reach out to us anytime. And of course, we have excellent call pickup rate. We have 99.6% of our calls are picked up within 20 seconds. 99.9 is picked up within 1 minute, and we have almost 0 calls after 1 minute. I can provide you all with our customer help desk number later. You can try calling and see how fast they pick up. And of course, other than just picking up phone fast, we are also very prompt in terms from the moment your user call us till our engineer goes on site. Usually, the standard SLA is within 2 to 4 hours, but traditionally, when we track back our our historical performance, usually within an hour we will be there. And of course, this is our warehouse. So we also stock up a lot of parts and toners because, we take, pride in delivering excellent services to our customers. So we will also make sure that, we have all the necessary, consumables and parts to change for our customers as and when needed. And of course, as I shared earlier, we do, toner, complementary toner loading and removal, which is unique in the market. And we are the only vendor in the market doing that for our customers. And of course, our engineers, as compared, because they are cross-trained across various brands. So in terms of skill set, they're a lot higher. We are proud to say that, in terms of the compliments that they're getting from customers, almost every other day. And of course, at the click of buttons, we are able to also generate, management reports for our customers, which is comprises of 2 parts. One is a usage analytics to kind of share with you your, printing trends and also whether your device are underutilized or overutilized. And the second part of it is basically in terms of our service analytics, whether are we meeting SLA, So every month or every quarter, we can generate this report for our customers. And of course, next is our ability to manage interconnected devices, given that we are not just a print company, but a full-fledged IT company. So, the moment you click print and you come print, right, we won't say it's your switch, it's your network, it's your, this server. So we take accountability for everything from end to end. And importantly, we do multi-brand management. So, not one brand, basically is the best for everything, So, just shared earlier, we cover more than 70% of the brands in the market. So we're able to mix and match the best for our customer. So in this particular case, if customers are looking more at sustainability, we could actually work with Epson to bring about that for our customers. And of course, everything is on a pay-per-print program, So from your desktop printers to your copiers, to even the large formats, we can standardize the rates for you. And everything will be on a utility-based model. And, we are the largest single provider in Asia for this. And last but not least, I guess very importantly is the, proactive availability monitoring, which a lot of vendors out there do not do. So just to share, Adventus have 22301 in terms of business continuity management, ISO 27001 for information security. And we also have our own security operations center license to run. So what this means for our customers, right, is that we do have a cyber team that will proactively manage or monitor all the various vulnerability that's out there in the market. So if they came across anything that is related to print, they will basically inform me as a BU head, right? And then I will work with my team to just check whether any of our customers are, affected. So if there's any customers that is affected, we'll send out communication to them to inform them. And importantly, other than just informing, we also take proactive step, to, provide the fix and constantly, do the regular firmware patches as well, right? To address any of these print vulnerabilities for our customers. Okay, so in short, this is, the value proposition that we can offer. So I guess, we have running very short of time. I'll pass this time back to June, right? For the Q&A. Yeah, over to you, June.
Okay, sure. So here, let me share. So now it's time for the interactive quiz. Let me just share, yeah. Hey, I cannot share. So weird. Okay, you can see my screen, right? Let me just put this in full screen mode. Okay, so oh, I can't on music for some reason, but yeah, it's okay. Okay, so now it's time for the quiz. Let me go to the next slide. Yeah, I'll need you guys to scan this QR code to join the quiz. I'll do it on my end as well. Okay, while you guys are still scanning, right, I'll go through the prizes first. So, in order for you guys to win, you will have to answer the most number of correct answers at the fastest time. So the top 4 winners will actually walk away with $20 Moments voucher. So this Moments voucher, you can actually use it for Grab, IKEA, Courts, Tangs, Shopee, Cold Storage, and many other brands as well. So just scan first. I'll wait for more people to join in. Okay, let me see if we can go to the next slide. Okay, over here, right? Look at your phone. I'll need you to rename yourselves. So now they have given you a dummy name, but I need you to rename yourselves to maybe your first name and last name so that if you win, at least I know who you are. Can, can. Who else still needs to join? Or is everyone in already? I go back for the QR code first. One more time, yeah. So this is the QR code. Please join if you need to first. I'll count to like 10. Then I'll move on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, back to here. Okay, rename yourselves then. For those who haven't joined in. Yeah, more people now. Okay, rename yourselves. Another like 5 more seconds to rename yourselves. Remember to look at your phone to rename. And then click join quiz. Okay, I'll start now. Okay, so you have to answer fast to get more points. So this is the first question. Epson heat-free business printers uses up to 85% lesser power consumption than traditional laser printers because... So on your phone, there are 4 options. Choose the correct option or the one that you think is correct. 3 seconds left. 2, 1. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, majority of you got it correct. So the answer is there is no fuser you need to heat up that before the printer starts to print lah. Okay, so let's look at the leaderboard. Wow, okay. Okay, we have our top 3 at the top 4. There are 4 prizes. So top 4 at the moment. Okay, for the staff, try to answer slower. I see some staff names here. Okay, next question. Okay, if everyone is ready, then I will go to the next question. 23 players around there lah. Okay, so next question. Eh, click wrong. Wait. Okay. What are some of the unique value propositions of Adventus? So look at your phone. There are 4 options. Please choose the one that you think is correct. Staff, don't answer so fast, staff. Okay, 3 seconds left. Okay. Yeah, majority of you got it right again. So the answer is all of the above lah. So Adventus can do high service level manage. As in, our unique value propositions is that we have high service level, multi-brand management, as well as proactive vulnerability monitoring. Okay, next. Oh, the leaderboard now. Let's see. Did the top 3 change? Well, Peter is still in. Wow, okay, now Peter is first ready. Okay. So yeah, it'll keep changing. So okay, I'll move on to the next question, yeah? Okay. Okay, I guess you're all ready. Sure. So same rules apply. Answer fast to get more points. Same thing on your phone for options. Using an Epson heat-free business printer reduces environmental impact because. So for options, you have to choose the one that you think is correct. Okay, 1 second. That's all. Okay, majority of you got it right again. Yay, congrats. So let's look at the leaderboard now, if there's any drastic changes. Oh, Tinky, you need to rename yourself, or let me know who you are later on. Oh, wow, Tinky is first now. Okay, can. So top 4, as you can see there. Okay, next question. We have 2 questions left, yeah? Okay, if everyone is ready, I will start now. Okay, same thing, answer fast to get more points. So what are some of the managed print solutions that Adventus offers? Okay, 4 options on your device. Please choose the one that you think is correct. Staff, please answer slowly. Okay, think 2 more. Okay, can. Oh yeah, majority got it right again. So yes, we provide like all these solutions that you see in your options. Okay, the leaderboard now. Oh wow, see the top 3 keeps fighting with each other. Okay, now we have the top 4. Tinky is still first, followed by Peter, Winston, and Angela. So this is the last question now, the most exciting one. So try to get it correct and at the fastest time for the top 4 of you so that you can fight for the first place. Actually you all get the same prize, so but at least your name will be first. Okay, so answer fast to get more points. For 1 year's usage, 6 letter trees is required to absorb the annual CO2 emission from a laser printer, while for Epson heat-free business printers, how many cedar trees will it require? John went through this just now. 4 seconds left to answer with the correct answer. 2, 1. Okay, majority of you got it right again. Can. So a lot of you are paying attention. That's good. This is the final leaderboard. I think Peter is now first ready. Oh, and Winston, are you still in? Oh, Winston is out. Okay, Tinky is first. I need you to identify yourself though. Then followed by Peter, if you can see at the back. Then Angela and Pui Voon. So I'll reach out to you guys for the voucher. Okay, can? Okay, so now we'll move on to Q&A. I do see a few questions coming in already. If you have any further questions, just type it in the Q&A portion below. Let me just share my slides now, yeah. Okay, so I'll be copying and pasting the Q&A questions over to these slides here. Let's see, let's start with this first question here. Okay, so the first question is there a comparison of the sustainability of heat-free tech with other major brands such as Canon and Konica Minolta?
Okay, so maybe I can take this one, June.
Yes.
So the comparison of sustainability of heat-free technology at the moment, like I mentioned, is mentioned because of the proprietary technology of the piezo printhead is only offered by Epson. But I think another way of comparing is that we can compare which is actual facts and data, is the carbon emission through also the use of power consumption. So if you look at the various brands, we all have a common thing, which is the operating power. So based on that, you see, number one, you see the voltage. The voltage for the heat-free is actually a lot lower. That's one. Of course, that will translate to a lower power running cost. And then, of course, if you're more concerned about the sustainability portion, there are formulas which you like to, you can reach out to me. We can actually do a calculation based on the grid emission factor from energy market to see what is the actual CO2 emission. But I think generally, because of the fact that it's heat-free, that it's already it uses very low power. So in terms of the sustainability factor, right, it will definitely be one edge up when you're using a heat-free technology. So I think the rest of the brands, they are all on laser technology. So I think there isn't really a basis for compare. Yeah, you can compare, but it will be laser against heat-free, the power consumption and the CO2 emission. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Okay, next question. Do you have secure print and print anywhere features for both production and desktop copiers?
Okay, so I can take that again. So for print anyway, I think there are various print management solution that we have. So I think for Epson, we do have our proprietary print admin. But beyond that, I think the other thing is also, which I didn't share earlier on, is that our printers are also running on open platform. Open platform meaning to say that it is possible to integrate with other third parties pre management solutions. So like in the example, when we work, one of the key reasons why we work with Adventus is because they actually, like if you notice Gordon shared, they have actually afford quite a wide range of on-prem and on-cloud pre-management solutions. So even if, let's say, there are certain features that you require that is more sophisticated, more advanced, that beyond what we can have, they also do have other solutions like in their offerings that can also be integrated with our open platform. So I hope I got that right, Gordon.
Yeah, just to add on to what Sean has just shared earlier as well, right? So in terms of pre-management solutions, I would say that Ventus offer the widest range of the various brands offering out there, and given our integration capabilities, right, we are able to put things together for our customers. And like I said earlier, a lot of customers are also moving towards cloud, pre-management solutions. So that's where we are able to integrate that with Epson, or should I say we have already implemented it, for some customers out there already. Okay.
Okay, next question. Is your print server hosting compatible with Azure?
Yeah, I will take that question. Yes, the answer is yes. So meaning that in terms of when you talk about Azure, right? Probably I would assume that you're talking about probably the your AD is on Azure, right? So basically, we are able to support, if let's say you're using on-prem, with Azure AD, you can do so. Or, if you want to just purely move everything into these cloud-based, pre-management solution, right? So we do have offerings that, is hosted in either AWS or Azure. Okay, I hope I answered that question. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Then next question. What is the exit procedure like? Like, is there a certification of destruction of internal storage?
Probably I will take this question. So I think maybe you're referring to the hardware itself, right? In the event that once you want to decommission the device, so that's where Adventus as a service provider, we do have a very structured decommissioning process where we will actually write the hard disk, and if let's say customers will have the requirements to degauss it, we can also do that and then provide you the certification accordingly. Okay.
Okay. Moving on to the next question. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to type it, yeah? How can using a heat-free office printer benefit my ESG reporting?
Yeah, so maybe I'll take that, June. So, okay, how can a heat-free office printer benefit your ESG reporting? So, okay, I think at the end of the day, it will not form a major factor for your whole entire ESG reporting, because if you're going to do ESG reporting, there are many factors. So, in fact, everything in your office environment actually contributes to it. So, for Epson heat-free printers, right, it will cover the portion of your printing. So like, for example, there are many areas, like for example, we can be under your scope 3, the current scope 1, 2, this will be under scope 3. So under the vendors and power portion, you actually have report that you're actually using a product that is actually, okay, first thing first, sorry, I think I moved back a bit. Before scope 3, in terms of CO2 emission, it will be lower. I think like what I have stressed and shared many times, that's one. Why I actually mentioned scope 3 is because I'd like to take, maybe I'll share one reference. I think, like, for example, Gordon mentioned earlier on that to get Epson and Adventus, we actually won the part of the vital contract to government. I think interestingly, because it weighted very heavily on the sustainability. And if I may just share with you one of the two key questions that they actually asked us. And then, in fact, we were very surprised when we submitted our bid. They came back with questions like, okay, can we ask if all these products that you have proposed be delivered to my various ministry using electric vehicles? Nothing about machine uptime and downtime. I'll come to that why I'm sharing this with you. The second question they ask is that, are all of your products that you propose manufactured in net zero carbon environment? Again, nothing to do with the reliability, uptime, and everything on the machine. It's about the manufacturing of the machine, which I shared earlier on. If you remember, Epson, as of last year, December, we have already announced all our global plant is running on renewable energy. Now, because the reason why they ask this, and you will see an increasing amount of tenders asking this, is because they were required to eventually to put under their scope 3 reporting of all these vendors' emissions. So if, for example, if you're using a printer, just an example, a printer that is manufactured in in an environment that is non-renewable energy, that means there's a lot of CO2 being emitted and to produce this printer. And that's not going to look very good on your ESG reporting under the scope 3. So at this point, if you ask it again, coming back to your question, how will it benefit your ESG reporting? Things like this that we have in place as a process and also the product will actually be able to benefit your ESG reporting in that sense. So, but of course, if you require more information, you can feel free to check with Adventus. I'm sure they can work with somebody and all that on this matter. Also, you can just reach out to me. We can share more in details. So I hope that answers the question.
Okay, next question. How does Adventus decide on the brand and model to propose?
Yeah, I'll take that question. So for Adventus, right, our approach is always on a very consultative level. So we will, kind of walk through the customers, right, in terms of, what is their end goals, right, in terms of what they want to achieve. So, some of the common methodology that we use, right, basically we'll look at, the device to user ratio, volume to device, proximity to device, and of course, in terms of, the solutioning as well in this particular aspect, right, of, what the customers want to look at, maybe, other than just, the basic, printing and copying, they may want to, just as what I've shared earlier, there are many solutions, right, in terms of probably looking at some workflow automation, or, in terms of electronic archiving, or even as simple as, they may want to integrate, the Azure, right, to be able to, allow the device to scan directly to SharePoint, OneDrive, So those are the things that we do almost every other day, okay, for our customers. So, just feel free to reach out to us. My sales will definitely be very well trained and professional, right, to be able to do the design and, work according to with you, right, in terms of your end goals of what you want to achieve. Whether is it cost savings, sustainability, solutioning. Okay.
Okay, then I think last two questions if there are no further questions. So this is the second last one. Is there any difference in features and functions between Epson heat-free office printers and the regular laser printers?
I'll take that. So is there any difference in feature and function, right? The straight answer is no, there's no difference in terms of feature and function. Now, the best way for me to position this across is that we like to position ourselves just like the EV, electric vehicles of the automobile industry. So you remember in the days before we had EV, we just had your Toyota, your BMW, and your Nissans. They're all petrol cars. They then came along Teslas, BYD. Do they look any different from your Toyota and Nissan? No, they still look the same. They still have the same feature, the same function. The only difference is that you open up a bonnet, there's no petrol engine in there. They're running on batteries. So it's the same thing also. So if let's just like the backdrop that June has on the screen, the features and function of Office Business Epson Office Business Printer is the same as any other brands out there. All the copy, fax, print, scan, and all the different connectivities, we have it. The only difference is that the engine inside is different. So that's the best way to position it. And therefore, if you don't have to worry about in terms of features and function, we offer the same feature and function as the market in its class. So no worries on that. Okay.
Okay, then this should be the last question already. Why should we go with Adventus instead of going direct to the manufacturers?
Okay, I'll take a question. So I think this we get this question a lot. So I think earlier, you can see, we do have a lot of service differentiation in terms of what I've shared earlier, right? But other than that, I guess a lot of customers' main concern is, how can we be cheaper than the manufacturer? So is it cheaper, in terms of cost, right, to go direct? So I guess just to address this, we often than not, because we are the top brands, for all the top vendor, right, for all the brands that we represent. So we are able to get very aggressive pricing, right? Especially when we buy in bulk, from these manufacturers. So in fact, this bulk discount that we get from these manufacturers, we are able to translate these savings back to our customers. That's one. And number two, we will also work with the manufacturers very closely as well, right? For some of those bigger deals, where we are able to lobby for very aggressive discount, because given that we have a very strong proven track record, especially with a lot of big organization, right? Our win rate is very high, and they have a lot of confidence in us, in winning this deal, and they will support us in terms of the pricing. So, and in fact, by coming on board with us, the customers get to enjoy a lot more differentiated offerings, versus the other vendors out there in the market. Okay.
Okay. If there are no further questions, I'll move on to the next slide. We have a feedback form here for you guys to fill up. So just scan the QR code or go to the link below to fill up the survey form. Like that, yeah, like I can see. Okay. At Adventus here, right, we try to co-host webinars with our partners every month. So your feedback will be very helpful and greatly appreciated. Okay. Then to conclude this webinar, I would like to thank the speakers Gordon from Adventus and Sean from Epson, and also thank every one of you for joining us today. So after this webinar, right, your account managers will touch base with you. And should you have any further questions, or if you wish to head down to Epson for a live demo, for example, you can always let us know. Or you can let me know as well since you have my email address lah. Okay, feedback form is here for you guys to scan. Otherwise, you may all leave already lah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, June.
Thank you.
See you guys soon.
Sean.
See you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.